And good evening, everyone. Dozens of students are home from school in Anderson after 11 kids tested positive for COVID-19. I'm Phil Sanchez. Thank you for joining us tonight. Classes have been back in session for less than a week. News 8's Demi Johnson joins us now. And Demi, the positive cases come from different schools.
Yeah, several classrooms from 4 different schools have been forced to quarantine. District leaders say masks are optional at Anderson schools, and so far, there is no plan to change that policy. 4 schools in the same district facing the same issue.
We have unfortunately had to quarantine 6 classrooms.
Director for District and Community Engagement Brad Meadows says that means for the next 10 days, dozens of students will be learning from home. He says the spike in cases is similar to what Anderson schools saw last year.
The number of cases is relatively low. We're doing this out of an abundance of caution to make sure that, the virus is not being spread in our buildings.
Meadows says the plan put in place to keep students and staff safe requires K-6 classrooms to quarantine if there's a close contact. He says those students are mostly contained to one room, where in intermediate and high school, kids are constantly moving.
We do contact tracing and we see who their close contacts have been, so we're not required to quarantine an entire class like we do at the elementary school levels, but there has been some of those 11 cases have been at the high school.
While the schools don't have a mask requirement, Meadows says the district strongly recommends them, especially for students who aren't able to get vaccinated yet. He says Anderson schools have also advocated for the vaccine by holding clinics and giving staff a $150 stipend to get the shot. Meadows hopes by being overly cautious now, they'll avoid forcing everyone back to virtual learning later.
We put these mitigation efforts in place just to make sure that there isn't a spread and that we can continue to have in-person learning for those buildings and those classrooms that weren't impacted.
I also reached out to the Madison County Health Department about the positive cases. A spokesperson told me MCHD has not heard from Anderson schools regarding this particular quarantine situation. Live in studio, Demi Johnson, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.